Well, congratulations again, Darren. Another heart-fought victory for your side, but not after a very tough first half. Talk us through that first 45 minutes.
Well, we knew what to expect. We knew what sort of game it could be if we allowed the opposition to do what they're very good at. And unfortunately, that what happened in the first half. They got on top of us. They penned us in. They put balls in the box. They throw the ball in the box from distance. We couldn't get any fluency to our game. The problem first half, Ben, was we didn't turn them enough. We played in front of them too much. We didn't get them stretched at the back. So that was a real problem in the first half. Wing backs didn't get high enough. We didn't get them the ball high enough, and to have another 45 minutes and not without a real effort on goal. Obviously, something had to change at half time, and it's not the first time we've said that away from home. We stuck with the three at the back. We'd worked on playing with a back four, not for that specific game, but just we looked at the away games coming up. We did a bit of work in the week. We continued doing that on Saturday morning. Then we had Gillingham watched on Saturday and they played a diamond. We thought, okay, we'll start with the three because we know how that can affect it. But we just never got a fluency going and we never really got any rhythm. And the most important thing is we never turned them. We never got in behind them. We always played in front of them, which when you do that, it makes it easier for them to press. And they got on top of us, but I have to say, without creating many chances, I wasn't overly concerned. I just had to get the players in at half time and tweak a few things. And thankfully, the performance in the second half was very good.
Yeah, talk us through the changes you made, Darren, because it was a change in personnel, there was a tweak to the formation, and the dividends were almost instant.
Yeah, I mean, I felt a bit from because he's just come back into the team, and it wasn't his individual performances was the problem. It was the team performance. But of course, when you've got Sariki on the bench, and naturally he's a winger, or has played a lot of his career as a winger. Obviously, he plays with us a lot as a striker. I just felt playing with a bit more natural width, Ward and Dembele wide, and Thompson and Butler behind them meant there was four players wide as opposed to two with the wing backs. Look, the big turning point was the goal so early in the second half. We got a wee break. The goalkeeper, admittedly, from himself, probably could have done better. Jonas followed it in, but it did come back. It did come from the right hand side where Tomo then was reverted to a right back. And then from that moment on, I've got to be honest, we dominated. We were excellent. We were having attack after attack. Our wide players did what I wanted them to do, and we just seemed so more fluid and threatening because we were getting further up the pitch. And it was a very good performance second half. As poor as it was first half, it was very good second half.
Is that the best 45 minutes you've had away from home this season?
Possibly. In terms of certainly being really threatening attacking wise, you would probably say it was. But when you've got wingers with Dembele, with Sariki and Wardy doing what they did last night, they're very difficult players to play against. And what you have to do when you play with wide players is you have to control the game with the ball, otherwise they don't get involved. And as a team, two midfield players did an excellent second half, controlled the game. It then allowed Sammy to have more space because it stretched their back four, and he did very well. And as a team, we were very good in the second half. But look, when you ever go to, I said it, I'm not going to change my mind after the game from what I said before it. Whenever you go to Gillingham, you don't just turn up and win games easily. Steve's teams always give you a game. They always keep going, and last night was no different. Just in the second half, to be fair, we did up it, and then I thought our performance levels were good.
Can you give us an insight, Darren, into the conditions for the game? Because it felt that with the wind, particularly for you guys in the first half, in the second half, kicking that one way proved very difficult.
Yeah, it was a bit windy, a bit gusty. It did seem to be going in the direction you've just said. First half they had it, second half we had it. When you play against a team that put the ball forward a lot and play the way they do and are good at doing it, that little bit of wind did probably help. But we can have no complaints about being behind at half time. It's a very, very soft penalty. It's a wrong decision in my opinion. But we had no real complaints. Without a lot of balls into the box, and I thought we defended it well. I didn't think it was anything to do with how we defended it. I didn't think Pimmy had. I don't know if he had many saves to make at all. They'd one right before half time where I couldn't really see because I was at the opposite side. Excuse me, where the boys just hit it wide, and I thought, well, we just need to get them in. And to be honest, I just needed to. I was quite calm with them at half time. I just needed to reinforce certain things, clearly point out that with the players and ability we've got in the team to not have a real chance at half time, and it's not the first time I've said it away from home, we needed to get our act together. But also to say that, look, these are the games you may look back at, 1-0 down away to Gillingham, horrible night. If you can come away with it with a win, these are the games where you look back, maybe if you're successful and think, well, that was a big 3 points, and hopefully that's the case.
Obviously, Siriki Dembele coming on at half-time was part of the impact. And how close were you to starting him, Darren, or did the idea of having him as someone to bring on later in the game appeal to you? What was your thinking before the game?
Well, my thinking was before the game I was going to start Mo for 2 reasons. Dems has only had a couple of days, in fact, 1 day training was Monday. He did a bit of fitness work on Saturday. He trained on Monday. So he'd only had 1 day. I know he's not been out for a long time. But, we've got, how many games left? Is it 19 or something now, is it? I've got to be mindful that I've got a squad of players that I felt Mo's performance against Ipswich deserved a starting place. As difficult as it is to leave out Siriki because he's such a talented boy. And over the course of the next 19 games and the season as a whole, I've got to manage my whole squad. So if I feel a player's performance is good enough to stay in the team, and added to the fact that Siriki had only trained once, as a manager, you have to make difficult decisions. But, for example, if Mo hadn't have started and Siriki had got injured and I have to bring Mo on, I've got to pick him up. You have to manage these players carefully. And, I'm experienced enough to know how to do that. And I felt for Mo last night in the sense that the team didn't perform to the levels we would expect. And unfortunately, I had to make the tactical change. And also, I have to say, Siriki looked fresh. He did look fresh, the boy. That little break's probably done him some good.
Yeah, there's so many individual performances to mention, Darren. You've got the assists for Joe Ward again. You've got the goals again for Johnson Clark-Harris. There was the run from Nathan Thompson for the first goal. And he, like the other centre-backs, got through so much defending in the first half. Were there any others that caught your eye?
Second half, it was a very good team performance, Ben. Very good team performance all the way right through. Pimmy didn't have much to do, as I said. The back four defended very, very well. Beebs and Frankie headed everything out. Beebs had one great header deflected over the bar because a Kindy, if that goes in, you know that there's a game on. Midfield controlled the game centrally. Brownie and Tails controlled the possession, very calm. Obviously, the 2 white players we spoke about, and Sammy and Jonah were very good. As a whole, in the second half, it was a very good team performance. First half, nowhere near. So I think it's a good message for the players as well, that if we can get to that level of performance, then we're a difficult team to stop. And if we can do that on a consistent basis, then it gives us a real chance. But look, it's another 3 points. We're taking every game in isolation. We move on to another home game against Wimbledon. And as you've seen over the course of certainly probably the last week's a very good example that there's going to be some surprise results, or what you would call surprise results. I don't really see it that way. I think this season there's going to be results, and anyone in this league can be anyone. I've no doubt about that, especially after 27 games.
Yeah, you're up to second now, and those with the games in hand can't actually overtake you. So there must be an excitement within you, Darren, at the situation as you find it, as you say, with 19 games to go.
Yeah, we want to be consistent. We want to just take every game as it comes. I know it's a cliche, but we really need to concentrate on that. We've had a good month up to now. We've dealt with the setback at Shrewsbury very, very well. Touch wood, all the players seem fine. They look physically and mentally in a very, very good place. So yeah, at the moment it's going well, but we know how quickly it can turn. I think you've had good examples of that this season. Every team, even the ones, linking at the top, they've had spells where they've lost games. I think it's really important that you treat every game in isolation. You prepare for that game and don't worry about any other ones. And that's what we're doing very well at the moment. We've got another game at home against Wimbledon, and all we're doing is concentrating on that. Not looking really at the league table, if I'm going to be honest. And we'll just have to take care of each opposition that come.
And it is Wimbledon on Saturday back at London Road. What are your thoughts when you prepare for Wimbledon? They're not having the best of seasons, but what sort of things are you thinking about as you prepare for them?
Well, they've changed their manager. Not a game. They won't have had a game for a fortnight. The last game was they beat Wigan 3-2 away. Obviously, not nice to see any managers leave, and Glenn left. They'd been on a bad run, to be fair. New managers come in. They'd played with a back three virtually all the time under the previous manager. They've gone to a back four. They'll have had a couple of weeks to practice on and prepare for things. So we have to do what we're doing. We have to be aggressive at home. And we have to try and continue this home form if we can. But we've seen this season, in quite a few occasions, unfortunately, when we don't turn up for games or not at the levels or anywhere near the levels, we're getting beat. When we've not been at it, we've been beaten quite comfortably, apart from a couple of games. So I think that's a really important message to remind the players of. But also, on the flip side of that, when we do turn up, we're a hard team to play against. So it's just about maintaining standards, maintaining consistency in performances, but most important, winning. Maintaining that winning habit. It's a great habit to have.
And finally, Darren, in the week that we've been celebrating the youth team's success, one of the heroes of that title push was rewarded with a trip with the first team yesterday. Tell us about that.
Well, young Adler's come to obviously our attention in the last few months. Given him a contract. Boy's only just turned 16. Good player, lovely temperament. So young Ricky and Flynn had played in the youth team on Saturday. So Monday mornings normally, or Monday afternoon we train, is normally a recovery day if you've played on the Saturday. So I just wanted to have a look at Adler and see how his temperament was training with the first team. And to be honest, after 2 minutes, I thought, yeah, he was absolutely fine. Came in, scored a goal straight away, handled it really well, didn't faze him at all. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to take him with us. It's a good experience for him. If anyone had got ill or any sickness or anything as you may do on a day you travel, he would have been on the bench. And I would have no hesitation in putting him on the bench. Got to be careful. He's only 16. He's only just turned 16, but he's got a lovely temperament, lovely lad. We've got high hopes for him. He's another one out of the young group that we've got that we think's got real potential.